Ooh, look at that. Came together pretty nicely, didn't it? What up, peoples? This is your dude Solo, and I'm very excited about today's episode because I'm finally showing you guys the new studio. Let's go. Ever since 2015, when I lost my last studio in an apartment fire, I haven't had a proper desk to sit at. I have been bouncing around from coffee table to coffee table. When I moved into this space, I knew it was going to be the perfect spot for me to set up my office, studio, inspirational, practical, creative space. I really went to town on plotting and planning it all from every little possible step. I probably watched a couple hundred YouTube studio desk tours, draw inspiration and figure out what was gonna work for me and what would be practical, functional, creative, all those different things that I'm speaking to. So after many visits to Home Depot and Canadian Tire and IKEA and many different places, it's come together. So from September until about February, I spent a lot of time building this place out. And then I've sort of spent the last couple months working in it a lot, but not actually showing you guys. One of the first things I did was get this amazing desk setup that I did. I started on that because I just wanted to have a desk to set up, but then realistically everything just moved around because I started painting the wall, did it this super dark forest green that I really love. And then I went on to workbenches, the 4-drawer one that gave me a lot of organization and just a lot of storage of the main gear, but also the rolly one so that it's able to whip it out and put it in front of the backdrop. Or I just knew it was gonna be a helpful tool to be able to have a rolly cart. Speaking to a charging station, I felt like that was gonna be something that I could really use in my life as well. It's really nice to be able to come home from a gig, put your bag down, take out your batteries and put them all just into one centralized place. My Sony camera batteries, MPZ batteries, drone batteries, the drone charger, and the Ronin charger. And then the other Pegboard holds all my gaff tape, because I love gaff tape, and XLRs, and every other kind of little USB to USB-C to whatever. Like, I have them all individually wrapped. Things get cluttered fast when you get in creative spaces, and then it's totally understandable. But when things are too much of a mess, I feel like that sense of I can't do other things until I clean that up, and then you just waste like time you wanted to be productive in cleaning. And I'll definitely, you know, when you're looking for those excuses to not do the thing that you should be productive, and you're like, oh, I'll just clean instead. If you always have the mess around, then you're always just gonna, you know, no, I try to keep myself more organized, so I don't even have that excuse, and I just gotta get to work. Case in point, this video, which I have been holding off on making for a while. Hopefully it comes out in some kind of decent way, and I'm not just reshooting it like in 5 minutes because I don't like it. I guess we'll see. And then I spent a small fortune putting foam on the ceiling. The foam itself is not actually that expensive. How to attach it to the ceiling ended up being a little bit more expensive because a lot of people will use like an adhesive glue, but I didn't want to use the glue. Having previously done it in my recording studios in the year past, I know the mess that creates, and like literally once you do that, they're kind of there. They become part of the house, you know what I mean? So I really learned most recently, one of my favorite things in life is command strips. 3M command strips are just great for all kinds of different purposes. They hold a fair amount of weight, and the foam is really not that heavy, but it's one of those ceilings that have like the swirls in similar to a popcorn ceiling. It's not flat. Therefore, I was trying to figure out what was gonna work. Command strips was my idea. Fortunately, it worked. They've been up there for 4 or 5 months and they haven't even drooped down a little bit, or none of them have fallen. So I feel like my investment was worth it. But the good thing is that I'll be able to remove them and take them somewhere else. But I needed to do it because we needed dead in the room. I did my best to attenuate the sounds in different ways by putting in the big carpet, putting in all this foam, and putting in the other sound panels that I built. I also put a curtain rod above the window and a curtain rod above the door to be able to hold up moving blankets if it was as to be so loud. My screen setup is not quite perfected. I'm still figuring that out. At some point, I'm thinking super wide monitor or 2 monitors, I'm not sure. I also have a smaller backdrop set up here just to be able to do quick headshots or even product shots, and also a closet full of either more gear and smoke machines and things like that. Having a history with recording studios and going to school for audio engineering, I was excited about being able to implement some of those techniques and ideas into this space, including building myself some sound panels again, because I did that at my old studio, and I built just some wooden frames with some 1x2 and some melamine board at the back. Gave it a stain and a lacquer and put the foam inside of it, hung them on the walls with a little bit of space off the wall so you actually get, they work better that way. And then wrap the LED lights around them behind, put it down into a channel that went right behind the desk. As well, I put channels all around the back wall, and it really just kind of livens up the back of the room as well as the front of the room. Every day I walk in here and I'm so happy that this is the space that I get to be in. Gotta take a moment here to talk about today's video sponsor. You mean me? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the sponsor of this video. I paid for this shit. Yeah. As far as inside the workbench, the top drawer could be all my connectors and all those things that you often lose. Put that little small tray in there to be able to give it actual organization so I can find those things when I'm looking for them. Then the second drawer has audio and just all the XLR cables, the handle that goes on my FX3. Then the next drawer has camera things such as the flash and ND filters and lens hoods and all those things I often, again, lose. Then the bottom drawer has all the GoPro, 360 and drone things. Just places for everything to live so that I can find them when I need them. And some of the things that could live in those drawers actually live in my knapsack and the hard case that are headed out with me on daily jobs. So I don't really bother putting them back in the drawers as often. Also on the back wall was something I've wanted to be able to do for a while, and was collect all my cameras in one place. I have my little bit of a camera museum that include my grandpa's cameras, the past 100 years, and then all my cameras as well. I think we get caught up in feeling like we're not at where we want to be, and sometimes lose sight of where we've come from. My old school cameras on the wall remind me sometimes of where I've come from, and maybe to be grateful and appreciative of the growth and the evolution and where I'm at now, and not to always feel like, shit, I'm not where I want to be. Also really exciting to me, maybe not as much to other people, but the light stand holder that I built on the wall and the tripod holder that I built over on there was a little bit of engineering that it was super simple, but it's so effective because I just basically took cable conduit for piping, wrapped that in gaff tape and attached that to some wood, put it on the wall, and they perfectly fit the light stands. I'm gonna put a full list of all the gear in here in the description down below, so if you want to link to anything and find it, you will be able to do so. Just to talk about a couple things on the desk, one of my favorite things about this whole setup is this docking station. This thing is amazing because it's like an 18-in-1 docking station, but it enables me to have a lot of USB-C so that I can have a whole bunch of external SSDs plugged in without having to individually plug them in and unplug, and as well as I have the Focusrite Solo Scarlett interface to be able to bring in my audio and output to the PreSonus monitors. I'm not on any fancy mouse or keyboard. Really, I'm just on I like this super slim version that has the silent keys. There's a power bar bolted underneath the desk that runs everything from the desk underneath. And then there's only that one wire that has to run to the wall, as well as some cable channels that I put underneath there just so that all the power adapters and everything else would be just live underneath the desk, and the desk therefore can move up and down. I don't have a good chair, admittedly, need to work on that one. It's down the list and it's an expensive thing, but next time you come back, new chair. I promise, for you and for me, because my back needs it. And also, of course, you can't forget the art on the wall from Mario Labonte. You might have saw my video a few episodes ago when I was just talking about finding his art out in BC. The closet has been a great place for me to stash all my product boxes because I always keep those of gear and stuff, as well as the smoke machine and other just props and things that come about that you don't need necessarily the access to all the time. And then over in the back corner, I'm able to put lens bags and tripod bags. And then in the other back corner, I have some NAND lights and some sandbags and C-stands. It's been a great space and I'm excited to put a lot more work into it. So I feel like we're done for the moment. I'm sure this video's been long enough for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's studio tour. I tried to keep the gear things at a somewhat high level. Any questions, please let me know, whether it's about the gear or just how I built something or any of the above. Much love to all of you tuning in, watching these videos, showing love and commenting, liking, sharing. Appreciate you more than you know. Stay tuned. Peace.